Welcome back to Angel Sininas and tutorial. In this video, we are going to study about the communication, definition, purpose, functions, process or elements of communication. In this video, we are going to study about the communication. Okay, so we know what is communication. So in a simple word, we can say that we will sharing the information. Okay, so let's see the introduction here. Communication is a continuous human function and much like breathing and cardiac functioning. The process go on all time in many ways. Phrases one cannot be without communicating is true. For example, when a person decides not to share the information or stop talking to another the person because of hurt or anger, a communication has still taken place. So we couldn't leave without communication. So if we are not talking to anybody, we couldn't leave. So we will talk to everyone. So that is the communication introduction is giving. So it's like our breathing or cardiac functioning. So when we breathe, it's without breathe we can't even leave, and same like that cardiac functions. Okay, the heart is not beating, we couldn't leave. Same like that communication, if you are not speak anybody, we couldn't live in the society. So the people will be not talking, so they may having any disease like depression or something. So while writing for the 10-mark questions answer, you can include the introduction, these kind of things. Okay, so communication is the basics essential to the human life. Though communication people related to their environment and to each other. Without it, people would be unable to learn to direct other lives and to work together cooperatively in families, organizations and communities. Communication is the basis to human feelings and intellect. Without it, human race could not be survived. So it's a very important, essential to the human life, and how we will be communicating in this one. So we will communicate in the society, and we should have the cooperation. If you are not talking to anybody, whether they will have the cooperation, no, nothing. So they will think that the person having something attitude, something like that, so he won't be speaking to me. So communication will help us to improve the cooperation, coordination, and making a good relationship with the other people. Okay, so this is about the small introduction regarding the communication. Let's go into the definition of communication. Okay, so here you can see that there is a two new definition is there. So that is according to the Newman and Summer. So he is saying that the communication is the exchange of fact, ideas, opinion or emotion by two or more persons. So communication means Newman and Summer says that it's exchange of fact. So what are the fact we have? Fact means our ideas, our opinion, our emotions we will saying to some other or somebody, or it may be one person or two person, more than two people. Okay, so we will share our communication, our emotions, our feelings. That is said by the Newman and Summer definition. So one more definition is there, that is a Hobban definition. It says that communication is a verbal interchange of thought or ideas. So it's a verbal interchange, so that we will talking, and it's a verbal interchange of the thought or ideas. So these two definition is very important. You should by heart the definition. While writing the exam, you have to write these two. Okay, so if it is one also, it's not a problem. You have to by heart with the name of the author who has given the definition. Then functions and purpose of communication. Okay, so the purpose of communication means what? Is to send or receive, interpret and respond appropriately and clearly to a message. And interchange of information in an organization. Communication helps to establish and disseminate the goals. It facilitates the development of the plans for the achievement of goals. Communication helps to manage and utilize the manpower and other resources in most effective and efficient manner. Communication helps a manner lead lead, direct, and motivate the employees to contribute the right thing. So here it says that the functions or the purpose of communication. Communication means it will send, receive, and interpret and respond. So we will send the message, and receiver will be accept the message, and he will interpret, and he will understand the message, and he will respond. So if we are asking, so we are asking to the person, what is your name? So he will understand what we asked, and he will say his name. So that is the interpretation or the response he is giving. Okay, and clearly it should give the message. So if you are asking the question, the person doesn't know English, means he won't reply because he doesn't know that. So clearly we have to message and interchange of the information. In an organization, communication help to establish disseminate the goal. Okay, everybody in the hospital means so hospital means nurses will be there and all other people will be there. So they have to understand their terminologies. Okay, doctor, lab, something. So these all the people will be there. So it will be help to achieve their goal easily, and it facilitate the development of the plans for the achievement of the goal, and easily they can achieve the goal. So if they are communicating well, communication help to manage and utilize the manpower. Manpower means the people don't have the resources, or they have the power they can achieve very soon, and resources in the most effective and efficient manner. Communication helps a manager lead, direct, and motivate employees to contribute the right things. Okay, so the manager will be telling the people, so you have to obey this rule, you have to maintain the rules and regulations and standards, so which will help the people to understand through the communication. So the communication is very, very important in our hospital settings. Okay, so next we will move to the main functions of communication. So we have seen that here the purposes, you can write the purposes, it's like a small point. Okay, so the purpose of to send, receive, this and all, you can make it in the 1 point. In the organization you can make it in the 2nd point. Like that you can write the 3 point. Okay, 3 or 4 point you can write. Okay, so this is a purpose of communication. The main functions of communication, let's see. Okay, so here main functions of communication. So we know the functions. Okay, first one is a knowledge management, and second one is a decision making, and third is coordinating work activities, and fourth is fulfills relatedness, and sixth is information, seventh education, and eighth persuasion, 9 motivation, and 10 instruction, and 11 raising morale, and next is advice and warning. So what is that? These are the things. So through the communication we will get the knowledge management. Yes, we will get the knowledge, and somebody saying that how to inject the patient. Okay, so we will get, or our tutor will teach us. Okay, so how to inject, so we will get the knowledge. So that is a knowledge management. And decision making. Okay, communication will help us to decision making. If the critical patient comes, that is example is a cardiac arrest. Okay, patient comes, means what we will do, we will think that okay, we want to give the CPR to the patient, otherwise patient may die. So we have to take the decision making, critical decision, and coordinate with the activities. Okay, we should be coordinate with the other co-workers, like we have to tell the nurse, other co-workers to arrange the medicine for the patient and help for the procedure. Okay, so we should have the coordinate work with activities and fulfill the relatedness of the needs. Their needs we have to fulfill. Patient is saying that I am feeling thirsty, or I am getting hungry, so what you have to do? So as a nurse we have to fulfill their relatedness, needs, and information. So through that communication we will get the information, and we will get the education and persuasion. Okay, so we will get a sum of, so we should maintain their beliefs. Okay, and the motivation, we will motivate the patient, and others, our teachers or our seniors, nurses, they will motivate us. We have to do in a correct way, and they will instruct us. There's an instruction. Raising morale. Okay, so raising morale means we will maintain some of the what will be saying, the beliefs. Okay, so their confidence, their happiness, everything we will be raising, and we will give the advice to the patient and warning. So these are the main functions of the communication. While writing the exam, you can write like this list down this kind of manner, or else you can write the functions of management, like that you can write. Okay, and you can write in a attractive way, like that also you can write. Okay, so that will be very attractive way you can write. The examiner can catch the answer very soon and you will get the good marks. Okay, so that is the other way to write. Okay, so next is the some other functions of communication is saying that so let's see that so functions of communication is a various one must determine the functions of communication is known as primary function. Okay, let's see. So one must determine the functions of communication is known as the primary function. In certain circumstances, situation of position may have one or two or three or secondary functions. For example, informing, controlling, pursuing, coordinating. Okay, secondary functions. Okay, so first those who get in the communication. So I am telling the student too, you have to learn, you have to study and come the chapter. Okay, you have to study and come the communication. So the person is telling and then I am telling the person, you have to tell to your friends. Okay, so first one is the primary function and second he is telling to others is the secondary functions. Okay, so that is the informing, controlling and pursuing the coordinating. Okay, so in inform functions means so let's see here, and an organization needs a vast amount of information to function and operate a business. Okay, so inform functions means the organization needs a vast amount of information to function and operate a business. The top management would require timely, accurate information for the various departments to make this effective decision. So one person is going to start a industry or business or something, he doesn't know about the sufficient knowledge about the thing. Okay, he will ask the senior people, he will ask the advice from those who knows about this all the things. So that is the inform functions. Okay, he need the vast communication, so he will have the approaching with the people. Okay, so that is the inform functions. Top management require timely and accurate functions to the various departments to make their decisions. Okay, next one is the control functions. These and all, it's not much important, you have to know, that's it. And central functions means the management of any organization will always have a plan with the long, medium or long term objectives for a month or years ahead. To achieve these objectives, daily monthly activities must provide a plan in order to achieve the objectives for the period. Okay, here is the management of any organization will always have plan with a long, medium or short medium. Control functions, so you know so they before starting anything we will be having the planning or the we may having some plan or goals. It may be medium or maybe long time objectives for a month or years. To achieve these objectives within a month, we have to achieve this one. Within the year, we have to complete this task. So we will be having the control functions. Okay, that is another functions of the communication. Next one is a pursuing function. Pursuing usually involves the selling of the ideas and product and service to person or group. There is a better chance of person or group accepting the idea when it is conveyed positively. So the industry people or the big business peoples and all know, so they will be asking the ideas from the people, those who know the better idea, they will be asking and they will borrowing. Okay, not borrowing, they will give money and they will get the good ideas. Okay, so that is the pursuing. And coordinating functions means every people plays an important controlling input and output perceivably. Job scope and head count have to be well coordinated. So you should have the coordination. Okay, this is not much important, you have to know. Okay, next one is the process of elements of communication. This is very, very important. Okay, so process of communication. normally communication is known as the interpersonal, wherein information or message is transferred from one person to another person. Okay, here mainly, so they may ask for the 5-mark question is the process or elements of the communication, 5 marks. So you have to list out this one. First sender, second message, and third encoding, and fourth channel, and fifth decoding, sixth receiver, seventh feedback, and eighth content. Okay, so these many are. Okay, let's see one by one. So first one is the sender. Okay, sender means as you know, so the person, the sender or the communicator sending. The sender is a person who is sending the messages. The one word you can write. Okay, the person who is sending the message. The sender should be clear of what he or she is communicating and why he wants to communicate. It should be clear. It shouldn't be maybe written or verbal communication also should be clear. Otherwise, the receiver cannot understand what he is saying that. Okay, so that is a sender. Next one is a message. The message. It is a information that the sender wants to communicate either in a writing or the speech or by sign. Okay, so writing. So if you are writing in a ugly manner, so something you have written, your handwriting, you people only knows that. So which is the receiver is not able to read. So what is that? The message won't be effective. Okay, that communication won't be effective. You are speaking very loud, very speed you are speaking, so the message won't be communicate properly. It should be very clearly writing and speech very clearly. Okay, the next one is the encoding. Encoding, the process of converting the information that has to be sent into a format which the receiver can understand is known as encoding. So that information sending, now it should be understandable way, converting to understand the receiver. Okay, that is called encoding. The information can be encoded in the various format or maybe oral, written or visual. Okay, so information we can write and we can say and we can show the visuals. Okay, so that is the encoding. And the channel means the channel messages are conveyed through the various channels. Okay, it may be verbal, with verbal including face to face. Okay, face to face we can say, and face to face meeting, and the telephone or the video conference, written including the letters in emails and memos and reports. Okay, so these are the channels. Channels means through which medium we are sending. We will call and tell, and we will write and tell, and we will mail the messages. So that medium is called the channels. And the decoding. Decoding means some information which is transferred to the receiver has to be interpreted. The information the receiver has in what he got, the information he will interpret, he will understand. That is called decoding. Interpretation is known as the decoding. The next one is the receiver. The receiver is simply the person receiving the message and making a sense it and understanding, translating it the meaning. So he will receive and he will be understanding the meaning, he will say the feedback. Okay, and next one is the feedback is the reaction of the receiver. It can be verbal or non-verbal reaction, response. It can be external feedback, something we see, and internal feedback, something we cannot see. So if he understand only, he will say the feedback, otherwise he won't be say the feedback. Okay, so that feedback of the reaction of the receiver is called the feedback. Okay, next the last one is the content. Content means the situation in which the communication is delivered is the content. So this may include the surrounding environment or the broad culture. Okay, so this is about the very important the process and the elements of the communication. Okay, so we have seen the process of elements of communication and the main functions of communication and the purpose of communication and the definition. Okay, so if you have any doubt, you can ask me by asking, you can put the comment below, and you can ask. If you want the notes also, you can ask, you can comment below. Okay, I hope you student you can understand. I will be continue the next class. Okay, thank you.